Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and welcome to our football construction site as we build a team through the NFL Draft. You always hear others say that this particular draft is weak, or wait until next year to take this particular position, or the NFL draft is an inexact science, but we at Football Game Plan believe that all three of those statements are huge myths, and we're here to show you why as we go through 7 rounds of the NFL draft and pick players to make each NFL team better. But before we get started, let's take a look at the mock draft rules. You have to remember that the selections that you see in this mock draft will be based off of Football Game Plan Scouting player rankings, which you can find on our website at youtube.com/footballgameplan or footballgameplan.com/FBGP scouting. They're also based off what I would do as the general manager, not what I think they'll do, not what they have done or what they will do, but what I would do if I were the GM, and also what I believe are the team needs. So not what other people may think the team needs are. If I think they need a quarterback, then I'm gonna take a quarterback. That's how it's going to go for this mock draft. So it's time to put on my GM hat and let's get started in building up the NFL. The Rams draft doesn't start until the second round, and with their first selection, I addressed the offensive line with Ryan Ramczyk out of Wisconsin. Ramczyk will be able to eventually pair up with another Badger in Rob Havenstein, but until then, he'll be the understudy of Andrew Whitworth, whom they signed via free agency. In round 3, I got defensive by adding defensive end Carl Lawson out of Auburn. They signed Connor Barwin in free agency, and adding a guy like Lawson in the draft gives them a young edge rusher that they can groom to eventually take over pretty soon in this defense. I think he would be an excellent specialist initially as a rookie. The Rams own 2 selections in the 4th round, and I went offensive with both picks. I'm a big fan of Eric Saulberg's game, the tight end. He was the #1 option for the Drake Bulldogs this past season and capped off a great career with a solid week of work at the East-West Shrine game. Kyle Fuller graded out pretty high for me. I think he's an outstanding center that could challenge for the starting spot as a rookie. At worst, he'll be able to provide excellent depth up front. Al-Qaeden Muhammad is an all-upside pick, and as he wasn't on anyone's roster this season and last played in 2015 for the Miami Hurricanes. He's a 6'3" edge rusher that has the length of a 6'8" football player and will be an intriguing option at this juncture of the draft. Quarterback Seth Russell, in my opinion, would be an upgrade over Sharon Mannion and newly signed Aaron Murray, and if it wasn't for the countless amounts of injuries he suffered the last 2 seasons, Russell would be considered a top-tier prospect, but the talent is definitely still there for the young passer. Jalen Ware of Alabama State has Teron Armstead-like athleticism and could serve as a good swing tackle for Los Angeles. And finally, Arquez Cooper was a highly productive backer for Grambling and can function well inside or outside. I think he's ideally suited as an inside backer in a 3-4 defense, which would make him a good fit for Wade Phillips here with the Rams. So that's a wrap for this edition of Building Through the Draft. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. And if you want to watch our other NFL team 7-round mock drafts, and you already should, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan, where you can catch all of our FBGP scouting prospect ranking videos. Also, subscribe to Football Game Plan podcast on iTunes.